belong. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Jeremy Lin, Carmelo Anthony. You would probably say Jeremy Lin, but the name does belong. Everybody I named is a standout in the NBA, but Jeremy Lin is a standout for a different reason, because he is the only NBA player right now that also holds a Harvard degree. He is the first Harvard grad to play in the league in almost 60 years, also the first Asian American in about 60 years. You're seeing him right there because last week he just picked up his diploma. Today, he's sitting here with me in studio. Jeremy, good to have you here, man. What was that moment like? You finally got to go back and pick up the diploma. How big of a deal? Was it a little more emotional than you thought it might be?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to be able to see it, 4 years of hard work in class, and just to be able to have my diploma. I mean, not a lot of people can say that they graduated from Harvard, and so for me, I'm the first in my family, so it was a big deal for me.
Okay, now it's a degree in economics, so I have that right?
Yeah.
Okay, now the NBA is known notoriously for the trash talking that takes place. Now, throughout this season, maybe even some of the guys you're playing against, even some of your teammates, what kind of things do they say about you and say to you knowing you're a Harvard grad?
Well, I just have to make sure I get everything right, and if I don't, I hear about it. So everyone makes fun of me about going there.
Now, how is the season going for you so far? Again, you're not a breakout star necessarily just yet. You're just getting going. But I guess, what do you anticipate down the road? Can you be a guy who has a long-term career in the NBA?
Yeah, you know, it's just right now is being patient, working hard, and just going with the flow. Just being a rookie is pretty tough, and not always getting to play as much as you want. But I just think staying with it and working hard will be all right.
How tough was it at Harvard? I mean, it's known for being a premier academic institution in this country. The coursework's not easy. How did you do that? How did you balance that with basketball in school?
Well, you know.
Well, what is that about? What?
just trying to stay focused. Yeah. Time management.
Sounds like it was tough, though.
It was tough. It was definitely tough. My first 2 years, I struggled a lot. Just trying to find out, you know, how much time I have for everything. And on the road trips, you know, taking 4 days off from school, that was pretty tough, too.
Now, what did your parents emphasize with you when you're growing up? I assume certainly you got into Harvard. They certainly emphasized education. But at what point did they allow you to focus on that basketball a little more, or did they discourage you from that basketball a little bit?
Oh, no, they encouraged me to do it, and I appreciate that a lot. And but in my house, it was always school first. Take care of your schoolwork, finish your homework, and then you can play as much basketball as you want. So that's kind of the philosophy that I tried to adopt in college as well.
Now, there are some numbers out that say fewer than, the Sports Illustrated put this out, 20%, I think the Players Union put this out, 20% hold their college degree in the NBA. And 60% are actually broke by the time they leave the NBA. Now, I'm not sure if you are familiar with those numbers, but what does that say to you about the kind of example you can set, not just for young people, but also maybe for some of your fellow NBA players about what they should be aspiring to?
Well, you know, I just try to be who my parents raised me to be, and me being a Christian, I just try to work hard in everything I do, and schoolwork is definitely one of those situations. And so I just try to be an inspiration to everybody.
Now, and you mentioned you're very religious.
Yeah.
Right, so, okay, let me get this right. You're a Harvard grad playing in the NBA. You're very religious as well. You're the only Asian American in the past 60 years. Do you ever feel like, quite frankly, you don't fit in your environment? You kind of stand out. Those things aren't synonymous with the NBA, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely stand out for sure, and I know my story is very unique, but that's something that I embrace and enjoy, and just this whole journey has been a blessing from God, and so for me to be here, I'm just taking it one day at a time and really enjoying it.
Why not more Asian Americans in the NBA?
I'm not sure. I think that there's multiple reasons for that, but I think there's going to be a lot more coming up in the next few years, and I just think basketball is growing within the Asian American community for sure.
10 years from now, last thing to you. 10 years from now, what's going to look better on your resume? Former NBA player, Harvard degree in economics.
I think the NBA player.
Really? Come on, you got a Harvard degree. Nobody has a Harvard degree. Well, some do, but still.
Yeah.
You're more proud of the NBA part on that resume, you think, than the Harvard degree in economics?
That's tough to say.
Yeah.
That's putting me in a tough spot. I think I'm pretty proud of both.
Well, really, congratulations. I've been wanting to speak to you for a long time. It's a heck of an accomplishment, and it shows to really young people out there you can have an Ivy League education. You can make it to the NBA. So a great example you are setting. Thanks so much, and good luck to you the rest of the season, all right?
Thank you.
All right, Kieran.
But only if you're a smart